So this semester we have, or this project is putting everything together that we've done this semester. So first of all, I want to start with sustainability because that's the word of the year basically. Okay, so with sustainability, we've done many things to learn about it, such as the UH field trip and the Mars Garden field trip. But the word basically means to be able to maintain yourself on your own without any help from others, and like be able to use supplies and not run out of it. So food also, I think that under sustainability, food security also is another issue because food security on this island is a lot more difficult than most other places because we are so isolated from others. So we need, for us, we need to work on our food security more than many others because if something were to happen to this island, we would be without food for a while. And as of right now, our food security is not very high on our island because of land prices and also because um, work rates are a lot higher in the U.S. So farmers are thinking to work or end up farming other places so that they don't have to pay the high work rates and also have to pay the high expensive or high prices for land. And with when you do this, it's bad because our money does not stay inside our government. It is going out to these people outside of the U.S. And when this happens, we lose money, which is not what we want. If it stays inside our economy, everyone's able to use it. So another problem we also have is the types of farming because there are many types of farming and people like to do different ways. But for farmers, all they look for is the money. So they look for the cheapest route and the most profitable route. So most people use the standard type of agriculture, which is just dirt or soil and plants. But that is actually not the best way of doing it. We've learned that hydroponics and aquaponics is probably the best ways because you're just recycling water and reusing, which is a lot more sustainable than soil. Also, farmers like to use chemicals and put on their soil, which is not actually the proper way of restoring your soil. You actually need to give it time, but farmers like to just wash it so that they're not, so they get more money. And then, so this is just a little about the UH field trip and how they taught us how to be sustainable and grow our own stuff, grow our own stuff. And then also at Marty's Garden, they didn't only teach us about how to be sustainable while growing food, but also when you're done with your food, you can also recycle it using burn bins and well, I don't know if codes is like the option for us, but I'm just saying like you can always find ways to recycle your food and reuse it. So part of this semester we've been building a lot, and some things that we built include the table, the corn bin, and also the hydroponic systems. So I have learned throughout the table that you have to be or you have to be able to talk with your group a lot because if you don't, then you'll be working on different things, and sometimes you will end up working on the same thing. And before we even learned how to build, we first had to learn about the tools and not to use tools to fool around and everything. And that although you can use as a drill and a drill and a driver as the same thing, you can plug in the same stuff. It is not right because it'll break the supplies. Also, I've learned that before you do any type of building, you need to have a blueprint. Blueprints are very handy. I mean, they take a while to make us because you have to put it to scale. But when it comes time to building, it makes building a lot quicker and easier. Also, before starting, I realized that having all your supplies in one file before you start is very important so that you never have to go back and forth. Also, the one main thing I've learned is that when you're building, time is very precious, and I've learned that every now and then we've been going off subject, and that eats up a lot of time, and we don't even have much to start with. So ever since then, I think as a team leader, you have to be able to keep them on time and make sure that they're doing everything. So since then, I think I realized communication and telling my group what to do is very important. So we went to Home Depot to get our materials, and I had to, well, before we even went, we had to make the list. And I believe the list took a while to plan because it had to be so precise. So making it precise is something that I've learned is going to be something that we do throughout the whole year because preciseness is what makes like something really good or perfect. And so here are some pictures of us just building and like working hard, I guess. So the next thing I've learned is learning how to cook. I mean, learning how to cook at this age is probably not something most kids would be able to do. But personally, I think it's probably one of the smartest things because as a young kid, when you grow up and you become in college, no one really teaches you how to cook besides your parents, and lots of times they won't even teach you. So being able to learn now and learn the correct ways with all these tips is probably the most beneficial thing you can have. Basically, I think MPX is trying to teach you all the life skills, and I think life skills are going to take you farther probably than like learning all like these more specific stuff. So we went on a field trip to KCC, and I think that to start at KCC is probably the best place you could probably start on the island. I mean, you're working with professionals, and I think from there I've been able to probably cook most dishes that some college kids probably can't cook. I mean, we were able to make that rice pilaf, and I think that was probably the most difficult dish there. But I thought, yeah, maybe I'd probably make that one older, and it would be a lot more beneficial. Not only are we learning how to like cook these certain dishes, we're also learning how to use like the tools like knives. I've learned that you have to tap people in the back and tell them knives behind you, which is I guess life saving. It can be life saving if you do end up in the kitchen. And the other thing we worked on was cooking at home. And when I was at home cooking on my own, I mean, I did run into some struggles because I forgot how to do certain things and how they did it inside KCC. I mean, it was nice having someone able to guide you along. It was hard for my parents to help me because they didn't know exactly what I was doing. But I thought when I was at home, I made sure I did it step by step as the recipe said, and I thought it turned out just as good or if not better because I was able to put the amount of ingredients that I wanted to instead of what they told me to. So throughout the semester, we've been doing a lot of things with plants, such as learning about the pH levels and everything. I mean, you never really learn about plant pH levels unless you're actually like looking to further in plants and stuff. But I think learning about this now is probably super beneficial because when I'm older, I actually want to be able to be sustainable and build hydroponic systems. And with this information, I already can know it at a young age, and I can even probably start one now if I wanted to. And so I think learning about pH levels is probably very important. And also while doing lots of research, I think I learned good note-taking skills because I realized that lots of sites are invalid and you have to realize which ones are because I've been able to look at different websites and I've learned that Wikipedia is just basically what anyone can put on or anyone can put things on it, so it's not a valid source. I think learning not only about the pH levels and the specific stuff about the plant, like the mixtures and everything, but also learning about the origin and everything is very helpful because learning about like origin makes you understand the plant a lot better and makes you understand like how to use it the correct way and how it turns out the best in most dishes. So plants kind of fall under sustainability too because we need to be able to have a sustainable, or we need to be growing our plants sustainable in sustainable ways. So like when we went to Mars Garden, those plants, and they taught us not only how to grow them but also how to use them. And then better communication because throughout this semester before MPX, my communication skills weren't good. But I think MPX, or when I entered MPX, I realized being scared wasn't an option, and that I was gonna have to open up no matter what. So like using support circles was a big help because being able to talk in front of a small group with also people on the outside has made it a lot easier to talk in front of bigger groups. And then while building, I had to be able to talk, or I had to be able to communicate to my partners as team leader and keep them on task. Thank you.
Justin, stay there for a minute. Good job, Justin. Any questions for Justin? Okay, Justin, what was the best part for you about making your POL?
I actually think just looking back on the whole semester and realizing everything I've learned, such as my life skills, I think that was like really interesting, and just being able to realize that how much I've been able to accomplish in just the semester.
Awesome, thank you.